All right, everybody. I have got Magalie Dawson here with us. She is one of the members of Diana Effner's Doll Dreamers Guild. Did I say that right? The Doll Dreamers Guild. And
Yes.
she has very graciously agreed to do an interview with us this morning so that I could pick her brain about all things Little Darlings. So before we get started, I just want to say what an amazing video you guys produced for us this year. I think everybody loved it. I know that I was moved to tears when I watched it. It was so beautiful. And the Tom Petty version of Wildflowers that you played in the beginning, that song's very special to me. So when I
Oh,
watched it, I was like, oh. But I do have one quick question for you. Who was that? Who all was singing in the video? Are those Diana's daughters or?
yes. It's Sarah and Lila, and the two younger girls are her granddaughters,
Okay.
Chelsea and oh, yeah, I keep forgetting the other name. Anyway, Layla, I think.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I remember being at convention one year and she started singing and I was like, she can sing with
Oh, yes.
everything else
Beautiful
she does.
voice.
So beautiful. Um,
Yes.
and I was just amazed too when I started watching it that you made all 100 outfits. That is incredible. And you know, I have followed your work for a long time. So I first learned about you through American Girl boards because I was
Oh,
big into American Girl collecting.
oh, wow.
You've done some really beautiful American Girl costumes, and that's when I first heard about it. Someone had shared your work there, so I was really excited. I was like, I'm gonna have an MHD original at home.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I was really thrilled. But so I've got a few questions I want to ask you, and
All right.
the first is going to be about designing doll clothes. I know that you've been designing clothes for your dolls since you were a child.
Oh,
So
yes.
who was your favorite doll to design for when you were a child?
Oh, my goodness. It's Barbie. I always wanted to be a fashion designer since I was 2 years old. It was, I had little plastic scissors and I would cut the fabric and dress the doll, my Barbie dolls. And um, I've had other dolls. I remember having Thumbelina, the newborn Thumbelina that I love very much. But dressing, I wanted
Right,
the woman figure, I wanted to dress.
mature, yeah.
Yes, yes. And so Barbie was really my favorite.
What sort of things did you dress Barbie in back then?
Oh, um, I always wanted to make big princess dresses. Yeah, the frillier and the most yeah, I was inspired a lot by the movies I would be watching, like The Imperator Sissy and uh, Cinderella and the Walt Disney's. So I was making princess outfits pretty much. Yes.
Is that her there beside you, your Barbie?
Yes, that's my Sweet 16 Barbie, and she's lost her leg is loose, but this is not my original one. I really did searches, and that was a case I had when I was a child, but with eBay and the
Right.
internet you can find. But this one was so special because she came with her accessories when I bought her, and she came with some little sticker that you could scratch,
Uh-huh.
and it smelled like lilac. And
Oh,
so when I had her, my husband bought her for me on one of my birthdays, a couple birthdays ago,
that's a
and
good
I opened
lesson.
that and scratched it and smelled it.
Uh-huh.
And just like in the movie Ratatouille, when he takes the bite of the
Yeah,
ratatouille and goes back to his childhood, this is what happens. So I still have goosebumps about it. So I
that's
keep it in a zip
amazing.
up very tight so the smell doesn't go away. And
Smell.
I had my mud hair can too. That
Oh,
I
there
had.
he is. Isn't he dead?
Yeah.
The smell does that. Smell will just instantly transport you like
Yes.
that. That's amazing. So I know after you grew out of childhood, you did some designing for human clothes too. Can you
Yes,
tell
I
us a
did.
little bit about that?
My sister was a dancer in the National Ballet in Toronto, And so I did some costumings for the dancers, and I did dance wear for them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some modern choreography people that asked me to, do the costumes for their shows. So I did a lot of ballet dancer costumes. But when I moved to Vermont after fashion school, it's a farm country, so there were no big fashion anywhere, anything. So I opened my own store, and I did custom made bathing suits for people, and workout outfits and
That's
fleece
really
wear.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, designing both, do you prefer designing doll clothes or human clothes?
Doll clothes, yes. They never complain. They never complain. And it doesn't matter if it's a little tight here or a little loose there, or too hot or too itchy. No, dolls are the best.
Hilarious. Do you make a lot of your body of work spans a lot of different types of dolls. Do you have a favorite doll to design for that you like to design and dress?
I love all dolls, really. I have I love dressing the little darlings,
Of
obviously,
course.
because I
Right,
really am into them right now. But
right.
I love all dolls. I've been lately. There's been all those vintage doll auctions on Facebook,
Oh,
and I've bought so many, dolls that I've seen in my childhood, and I have so many dolls in my room here that are naked, ready for me to dress them, but I never have the time. But that's okay. I'm inspired by all kinds of dolls.
that's great. I've kind of done the same thing going back. That's the great thing about the internet is that childhood doll that you've lost, you can go back and find it now, and
Yes.
I love that. So you did mention that you do like designing for the little darlings. When did you decide, or what made you decide that you wanted to start painting little darlings and become a part of the guild?
Uh, well, I've had a relationship with Diana before getting into the dolls. Before I even met with I had never really met in person with Diana before last year's
Oh,
convention.
wow.
But we've been on the phone, friends, and on the phone, and having projects together for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and how it happened is that she wanted to do a collaboration with me to dress a little darling. I think that everybody pretty much have seen those. It was, uh, yeah, a few years ago. We did two collaborations. And but in the meanwhile, my husband, who was a trucker, had a big trucking accident,
Oh,
and he wasn't hurt, but it was very close.
mm-hmm.
And I told him,
No,
"That's it. I don't want you to be a trucker anymore." This had been very scary,
yeah, I don't blame
and
you for that.
so I decided to get back to porcelain making. I had done porcelain before. I did bleurettes interpretations. That's I didn't do reproduction. I preferred putting my own. I didn't want to copy the old ones, so I called them the interpretation bleurettes. But this had gone very well, so I said, let's go back to porcelain making
Mm-hmm.
in order to make do in life. We just the clothing is not enough. So and then, but I didn't want to do barrettes. I was talking with Diana, and I wanted to do little darlings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started doing, pouring and doing the porcelain little darlings. And I was showing her, and she was very impressed by my painting, and she said, you should paint the little darlings. At that point, she wanted to prove to make a system of teaching through videos and internet and phone. So she trained me that way, and she was very happy to see that it could work. So
Wow,
that's how it started for me with the little darlings.
that's amazing. How long did your training period with her take?
Oh, Oh, probably 2, 3 months.
That's wonderful.
Because I had painted a lot of
You
the
were
porcelains
right.
before, and so in
You were
order
advanced.
to do
You were
the
an advanced
vinyl wasn't
learner with experience already, so she just had a little bit of, yeah.
right. I would paint and I would show her, and she would tell me, yes, and you need to work on that, and here's that video, and she would make a video, and and we did back and forth, and that really worked out pretty good.
That's amazing. That's such a cool story. I love that. Because I have a lot of doll friends that I've never met in real life, but I consider them real friends because, we chat on the phone or chat online. So I think that's
Yes.
amazing that you were able to go through that process completely virtually, like we're having this convention. So,
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I'm a visual, being with somebody, looking at somebody, like let's say teaching painting is not the same as having a camera really close up of just seeing the paintbrush doing, I to me I'm sure it was the best way for me to learn.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Um, from the little darlings, do you have a favorite sculpt that you like to paint?
I love them all. I
Really?
really do. Um, Number one, melts my heart every time.
Classic.
It's when you glaze the eyes, you really put the life into them. And number one melts my heart. Number four is amazing to me too. I mean, the way the eyes are. It's always something, I always want her to look happy. It's
Right.
hard, but she is a very thoughtful little girl. Number twos and number threes. The number threes always a sweetie pie. Number twos are very adorable. I love them all. I really do.
They're all, when people ask me if I have a favorite, I can never pick one because they all have their unique characteristics that make them
Yes,
beautiful. I love the big eyes of the number four though because it's such a, it gives you artists, it's like showcases even more of that big beautiful eye painting that you guys do so well. So I love that.
right.
If somebody wanted to order a doll from you, what's the best way, a doll or outfit or whatever, what's the best way for them to do that and for them to follow your work?
To visit my website, which is
Okay.
dolloutfits.com,
Oh, that's
and
easy.
there's a little button where you go to the little darlings, and then you can put yourself into a waiting list. I before COVID, I was ahead of time. I was all painting, and in my schedule, I never put too many, so. But with COVID, then I stopped doing everything, and I did masks for everybody,
Wow.
and then I did the convention, and
Right.
so I find myself a little late. So I'm not taking orders right now, but I'm taking names for a list for when I'm ready to
When
take
you're ready.
orders again.
Those 100 outfits probably kept you busy for a while. So I can imagine. What
I calculated that one outfit, even if you do it manufacture side, or you don't do one at a time,
right.
but it's about 3.5 to 4 hour per.
So we're
So
really getting this year little piece. Those of us who've ordered the doll are getting little pieces of artwork. They are every year, but I'm so thrilled and I'm so appreciative of all the hard work that you guys put into it this
oh,
year.
she was a work of love. It was really, really made with love.
Well, I
Yes.
know that I'm speaking for all the collectors when I say we really appreciate it and we will treasure them so much. Um,
Thank
so
you.
my last question is, are you planning to join us in Louisville next year? And if so, can you share any information about that?
Well, absolutely. I would not miss it in the whole world. I'm gonna be there. I had a message from Diana,
Okay.
um, and she said she sends her love to everyone. She said she's very sorry that she cannot be here tonight, but that life has some uncertainties and challenges, but life is beautiful. and she sends the she wished the very, very best for all of you.
Thank you.
And for next year, we have big plans. But also, after you've seen the video, you realize that we could not get all together in Jamestown to finish the project and have the centerpieces, which were supposed to be other characters. They were supposed to be all different little girls that were part of the Funway Club. And so what we're thinking that for next year, Little Darling Fashion Gala, that we could do the Funway Club.
Oh, wow.
People would create a character, you know, a little girl with her what she's good, how she is, and the outfit that she did in the Funway Club. Wearable art, refashioning, you know, upcycling. So I think it will be a very interesting Little Darling Fashion Gala for next year.
That will be so much fun. That's a really awesome concept, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So, wow. Well, Magalie, thank you so much for your time with me this morning. I really appreciate it. All the other collectors really appreciate it. I can't wait for next year. You guys heard that. We have exciting plans for next year, so please don't miss out on Louisville next year. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.